All right, field day 2012. I'm out mobile as usual. 6 meters is acting so, it's so noisy and so bad. I haven't really tried this antenna before. It's a halo antenna, and it actually sits up all the way on this pole. So this is parallel to the ground. And I'm getting a lot of noise, so I'm going to swap it out and put in a 6 meter dipole just to see if it's the atmospheric conditions or this antenna. So just playing around. Not a lot of contacts this year. And of course I run into the usual problems trying to jury rig something, nothing fits. Stick a piece of wood in there, see what happens. I'm anxious to test this thing, because time is wasted and this contest is only going to last another hour or two. Like I said, not many contacts this year. Last year I did pretty good. The bands were open. Moderate antennas work better than I'm having with my better antennas this year. This is a half wave at 6 meters. I guess that makes it 3 meters long. That's quarter wave on each side. It's called a dipole, and it's made out of cable TV coax with a homemade clamp here to clamp it on the mast. Let me put it up and give it a try. Drop it in the receiver. And this thing being the entire lash up like it is, I tie it on. I'm anxious to see how it works. Tune up and down the band with the new antenna and still no signal, so I'm going to assume the band's dead. Nope, just nothing there. Guess that means I can take that antenna down and leave it home. And here's details of my receiver. Just a 2-inch square. It's a pretty thick wall. What do they call that? Structural tubing. And I drilled this out to receive the mast, and of course you got to drill out to have the pin that holds the whole thing in on the truck. Pretty simple, but it allows me to have one hell of a large antenna on this truck. And this is the halo antenna, which is basically it sits this way, gives you horizontal polarization and a small footprint. It's basically a dipole kind of bent around and joined at the end. This here is adjustable. It's kind of a capacitor, and then you feed it the RF energy down here. This is like a matching stuff. I got this given to me, and I guess it's a fairly interesting design. I'm not so sure how well it would do at 60, 70 miles an hour mobile, so I might build another one day. Interesting antenna, called the Halo. I wonder why. I've learned to carry a full set of tools with me for all the work I do on the antennas. It's part of the fun for me. Some people just like operating, but I like the building part and the tinkering part. This is a shortwave antenna called a screwdriver. This is a hollow tube, and inside there's an electric screwdriver which works a screw, which moves this up and down, which has a coil in it. So you have an adjustable shortwave antenna, which is necessary. You need, for 10 meters, the top of the band, you only need an antenna about 8 foot long. But for 80 meters, you would need an antenna 64 feet long, which is not going to happen on a truck. So you kind of electrically fool it by putting a coil in there. And the coil loads the antenna and makes the vibrating electricity think it's 64 foot long. Right now it's set for the 40 meter band. 40 meters, it would have to be 32 foot long, and you can see It's about 9 feet right now. So let me show you how it goes up and down. I control it in the cab with a switch. Let me show you a close-up. There's the base of the antenna, and I'm pivoting up. You can see there's a whip on top of the coil. Let's see if you can see the coil going up and down. I hope you could see that. It's just about set for 20 meters now. I have them marked with tape on there, and I adjust my rear view mirror to look at it from the cab, so I can do this while I'm driving. And then I use the tuner on the rig to fine tune it to make sure it's feeding properly. It's called SWR, standing wave ratio. And you want to have it set as low as possible, the ratio 1:1 being ideal. And that way you get maximum power out into the sky. If you get more than like 2:1, your radio will actually shut down, and because it doesn't want to go into a dead short, which will blow up your transistors. Blow up your transistors, huh? Here's the setup for the antenna inside my cab. This is the tuning head to the radio. The actual radio is right down there. It's got a separate tuning head, allows me to remotely control it a couple of feet. Right under this piece of wood that I mounted the head on, I have a switch. And to see if you can hear it. That's me lowering the antenna, and this is raising the antenna. So I turn the radio on. And I got it on 20 meters. Here are the stations. And I push this button, which sets the standing wave ratio function on the radio, and click through it. It's going through a bunch of frequencies and checking the standing wave ratio, and I see that I accidentally set it dead nut 1:1. So I'm good to go. Now I can make some contacts. This being a contest, I make the contacts and I write down the time, the frequency, their station call, and what we call an exchange, where they tell me what kind of station they have in a, like they'll say 9 alpha, which means they've got 9 stations set up in tents, continuously operated. And then they give me their location, which will be like Ontario or New Jersey or whatever. So that's your exchange. Then I give them my exchange, which is N3DER 1 Charlie Virginia, meaning I'm mobile, 1 station mobile in Virginia. And they'll have my frequency and time just by looking at their dial. So it's kind of fun. Let me see if I can make a contact here. Show you how it's done. November 3 Delta Echo Radio. It's November 3 Delta Echo Radio, 1 Charlie Virginia, 1 Charlie Virginia. And what was your call again?
I'm sorry, again, please?
What was your call again?
Yeah, my call is K5I, kilowatt 5 India.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good luck. 1 Charlie, Virginia, 1 Charlie, Virginia.
You say Virginia?
QSL.
Thank you. Get like kilowatt 5 India.
And so he's a 5 station in Oklahoma. So that's a couple of, almost 1,000 miles. And I was getting a fairly good signal on him. 2 alpha, that means he's got a full-size antenna set up in the field somewhere, probably an amplifier on it. I was running about 100 watts through that antenna I showed you, and it was like shooting fish in a barrel. It came back to me right away. I'll log the frequency and the time as 14 to, let's say, 77, and the time 12:51. That's another point. So I'm not doing well this year, but I'm having a ball.